Good morning, YouTubers. Hope everybody's having a good day so far. It is Sunday. It's been a busy last few days, and my ADD kicked in, and we done tore up the shop. So, we're over in this bay doing this video. Let's get through that intro, and we'll show you what we're talking about. Be right back. Alrighty, so get some coffee. We're going to try and keep this short. Thanks for tuning back in. Again, thanks to all the people that have commented on the Johan, the AMT video, and the MPC video. I greatly appreciate that. I really love seeing that people were posting their lists in there. That is so cool. I love seeing what you guys have for lists. So, we have a lot more to come. I have lots of different manufacturers that we're going to do, and then we have some genre ones that we're going to do as well. But today, I thought I would answer some of the questions that I've got. There was a live a couple weeks ago, and I popped in there. We were color sanding the Blue Nova, which has the Kaleido paint line on it and the Kaleido gloss varnish. And a lot of people were very curious to know what I was using, whether it was sandpaper, the water, compounds, the spay tool, so on and so on. I think a lot of people really are scared that, hey, I got a really nice paint job. Do I really risk throwing sandpaper at it and trying to level it out even more? And then the products, right? Is the product going to bring the luster back to my paint job versus the way I just shot it out of my can or shot it out of my airbrush? And those are very great concerns and can be very scary then to go and take sandpaper to it. So I'm hoping this video will kind of bring a little ease to that. I know there's some guys out there that really have a good touch with doing this stuff, and they've been doing it for a long time. So those guys will probably shut this video off right about now. But that's fine. So here's what we're going to say. First off, with the water, I used this cheapy Dawn blue dish soap. Just cheapy stuff, fragrance free. Just put a couple drops in a little pan of water, stir it up really good, and it acts like a really good lubricant with color sanding, whether it's color that you're going to buff out or you're buffing out clear. I use this for both. That brings up a good point too. Now, if you're saving your little sandpaper squares, if you're doing colors, especially dark colors, you do not want to use those same sandpapers if you, say, do a white or a yellow or an orange car down the road. You could possibly impregnate any kind of dark paint into the sanding of your lighter color stuff. So always keep your sandpaper separate. Generally, it's a really good idea to cut new 1x1 chunks out of your sandpaper per build. And then you can save those for later on or for something else or emergency, or you can mark them, hey, these were done with light colors, these were done with dark colors, so on. And then like my clear coats, I have sandpaper that I just cut chunks for the clear coats. So yeah, we could go all day on this. So let me explain what I've been taught and what I do. I'm going to try and keep this very simple because you could go crazy with this stuff. So basically, what I've learned from guys up here that do a lot of really high-end paint jobs, right? Some beautiful stuff. There's a couple guys north of me that have done some Riddler cars. Those guys generally will do cutting, compound and machine, and then do the hand wax, because then the hand wax allows, one, for you to know what you're applying, and you are getting a more focused visual on that you leveled the paint, meaning you're wet sanding, your cutting of the compounds, you're making sure that everything is uniform and good. And you may find that, hey, I got a spot over here that I got to re-hit with some sandpaper, and then hit the compound again, and then start the process over. So in the old days, I used to use this stuff called race glaze. They had a compound, they had waxes. Stuff worked phenomenal, especially like on the Duster. The Duster is a single stage deal, so it worked really, really well. Race glaze, I don't know what happened to them or what umbrella they were under as far as business. So then I went over to Meguiar's stuff. I tried some of the Mothers. I love the Mothers stuff for aluminum, but I went over to Meguiar's. And Meguiar's, at the time, we were doing basically a 3-stage deal. You'd have step 1, step 2, and then you get into step 3. And then you could do like a sealer wax that you would apply by hand. And this stuff worked really, really well. The thing with this stuff, though, is it's a lot old school technology compared to what stuff is out there now, and even in the Meguiar's line. So if in Meguiar's stuff, you can get everywhere. If you were going to go with a Meguiar's, because Meguiar's is probably the most affordable and the most available across the country, I would use the new stuff, the Meguiar's Ultimate Compound, and then hand do the Ultimate Wax. So these two are really great products as well. And when you're talking about a model, you want the stuff to be as fine as possible so that you're not seeing all these large scratch swirls, etc. So these two products work really good if you're going to stay with Meguiar's. If you want to go to a Meguiar's new style wax, I would use the ceramic wax. This stuff is really good too. So, but I've kind of moved on with the cars, especially with the Challenger here. We have done we've done the wet sanding on this. So when you buy these things from Dodge, they are very badly orange peeled on these cars right out of the factory. They're terrible. So when I bought this car, we buffed this thing out and really leveled it out really nice. And I was really looking for a different product at the time, because this has a base coat clear coat on it, and clear and black, or clear and black cherry, or midnight blue, any dark tones, you're going to see those flaws. You're going to see white marks, you're going to see hazes, you're going to see that stuff very easily. So I started talking to some other friends of mine, and they were like, dude, you need to talk to Adam over at Wizards. He's going to get you lined out. A lot of the products are really good. So 2 years ago, I switched over to the Wizards line. The Wizards line works really well. So I ended up buying 1 wax and 2 of their compounds. So just to state this, you need to do compound, then wax. Now, I seen a couple other people were explaining to viewers on some one-to-one stuff where they were talking about a product here, and then a product here, and then a product here. They basically were talking about a wax, a compound, and a wax. You do not do that, okay? You cut with your compound after you sand, then you do your wax, right? If you're going to put anything on there that would be your third, would be like a sealer of some sort. But I don't know if they were confused on the products or what they did, but I've seen this a couple times from some content creators, and it definitely confused some people because they landed in my mailbox. I can tell you that right now. They were telling me, hey, you use this wax and then this wax? No. Use compound, then a wax. There are compounds that are staged, so I'm going to show you that. So I was going with this Turbo Cut, right? I put this Turbo Cut compound, used a medium pad, and then from there I went to a finishing cut compound that they had with a soft pad. This is a good product, no problem with it. But realistically, I didn't need to buy this. I didn't need to buy this. This product here is so good that if I hit this with a medium pad and then switch my pad and go to a fine pad, this thing will take this to another luster. This thing is still rated very well on the bottom, and with what they're saying for what scratches it's going to get out of it. But now, about a year or so ago, they came out with this, which is a different technology, not so much of a hybrid like those ones are. It's still a hybrid. It's kind of like a ceramic, you know, synthetic. But this one here has no grit, this Mystic Cut. So when you're talking about models being small, this stuff works phenomenal. Now this stuff here I used on the Kaleido, the water-based varnish. It cut beautifully. With a medium pad on the Display sander, it cut it beautifully. No issues at all. I mean, it looked like a diamond in a goat's you know what. It was beautiful. I was very impressed. In fact, Bruce and Bob were in there as the same, and I was very skeptical to use this on that acrylic-based varnish, but it did a phenomenal job. The not having the grit in this works really, really well. Like I said, I'm trying to keep this very simple here. I could go into all the chemical breakdowns, but we're not going to do that. So then, like with the other stuff, what I was using, because I bought a wax then, polish and a sealant, and I was using this Master Shine, the Shine Master. This stuff works really good as well, and I would put this on. Now I used this on the Dart and the Coronet build. It worked really good. I put it on with a hand microfiber towel and wipe it off with a microfiber towel, and it works really good. Now I bought a small bottle of this because this stuff is really, really expensive. And this is the Mystic Nano Wax Super Slick Wax stuff. This stuff here I tried on a spoon. Wow. We put this on the Nova. We used the Mystic Cut with the Display, and we hand did this on the Nova, and the Nova looks phenomenal. So just again, make sure you're doing the right steps. One, you're going to have less work, and two, you're going to have less chances of screwing up your paint because you're not working the body lines and possibly hitting an edge and whatnot. So once you start with your compound, and if you're using a little machine or if you're doing it by hand, double check and make sure at that stage, go over the whole paint. Yep, I don't like that mark. No, I can live with that mark, right? They don't all have to be perfect, but you have to evaluate. Okay, yep, I'm happy with the wet sanding. I'm happy with the cutting of the compound, what shine I'm getting. Then go in there with your waxes and you seal it up. That is the best thing to do. If you're not happy, you do not want to put this on there. You do not want to put this on there. You want to then either backtrack and go to a different type of cut. You can go to something that's going to be a little more abrasive and hit it with the buffer and try and work those scratches out. Then go back to this, then your wax if you're happy. Otherwise, if you got to go back to sandpaper, you do not want to have to de-wax the stuff, because this will clog your fine sandpaper. Your wax, your sealers will clog your sandpaper. So you need to de-wax the body, meaning scrub it with soap and water, then go back and hit it with your fine grit sandpaper and work that area some more. Now sandpaper, a lot of people ask me, Jason, what sandpaper do you do? Generally, if I get the paint or the clear to lay really smooth out of the airbrush or the spray can, there's nothing wrong with spray cans. Generally, I try to start with 3,000 on a model. I try to start with 3,000 and I'll go up to 5,000. Generally, I don't really go up to 8,000, but there have been certain cars. The Dart was one of them. I did go up to 8,000 with the Dart, but generally I start with that. Now, if you've got a bad spot somewhere, let's say you had a run in the clear, you could take 1,500, 2,000 and work that area, then do your overall 3,000, so on. And again, just a couple drops of soap in your water and you're good to go. Now, if you burn through your clear, make sure you get all this soap off the body before you have to shoot another layer of clear. Rinse it off really, really well. You might want to hit it with some degreaser cleaner and then let it air out before you put another coat of clear on there in case you burn through. Same thing if you burn through on the paint and you got to put some more paint in there, you can fade the paint and then fade the clear, whatever. But all great products here, all whatever you want to do, but I recommend you find something that is very, very fine as far as models go when it comes into cutting compounds. With these big cars, we have huge buffing pads and a little bit faster speed as well, and you're really kind of moving on there. And the big thing with these things is you really got to watch the heat, where you could easily burn the paint. You can put heat in the panel as well, so you got to be very careful. With models, I suggest you keep it very lubricated with your compound and don't let it go dry. Make sure you don't let it go dry, because you can easily burn the paint and peel the paint right off where it's sticking to your foam pad. So just have some patience, go slow, take it easy. You will enjoy the journey of wet sanding and buffing your car out. You do not need the display motor tool. There are some cheaper tools that you can buy off Amazon, but you can do this with a microfiber towel and your fingers as well, and you can use the cutting compound that way, and then wash that off really, really well, and then go to your wax. You will be very happy. There's lots of great products out there. Some people like the turtle wax stuff as well. That's a good product. We've used the turtle wax stuff as well. We have the whole line of the turtle wax stuff as well. So, but right now, I would say the best ones, the most commons, is your Meguiar's. But the Wizard stuff you can order online, or if you go to car shows, you can see their Wizard trailer, talk to those people. But this Mystic Cut, phenomenal, and you can get this in a smaller bottle. Model people are not going to want to buy this for 60 bucks. So just saying, but you can get it in a smaller bottle. That's going to do it for me. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Remember, if you like this content, please go down there and smash that like button for me. Give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to this channel and ring that bell. I greatly appreciate it all. Thank you to everybody that's been commenting on the videos. I love it. You guys are great. It's cool to see your list. Keep participating in that thing. Let's see those top 5s if you're channel content creators. Thank you very much. Peace out, everybody.